Polling has concluded in several U.S. states on Super Tuesday, and the projections show a clear lead for President Joe Biden in the Democratic race and former President Donald Trump in the Republican race. Surprisingly, Nikki Haley could be leading in Vermont by a wafer-thin margin. And of course, these are developments which have come in from ground. Our Voice of America correspondent Chris Casqueo joins us live from the state of Virginia. Chris, again, we spoke with you earlier in the day. Tell us what more do you have for us from the ground? What are the results looking like at this hour?
Well, let's give you some of the latest results. Trump is a projected winner in these states so far: Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. Now, going into Super Tuesday, Trump had secured 273 delegates needed for the GOP nomination, and Haley had 43 delegates. Now, if Trump sweeps tonight, he'll be just 74 delegates shy of capturing the 1,215 needed for the GOP nomination, and his campaign expects that he will reach that threshold either on March 12th or March 19th, so next week or 2 weeks from now. Siobhan?
Of course, Nikki Haley could be leading in Vermont by a wafer-thin margin. Now, of course, we have been tracking those numbers as they come in. Talk to us about what her strategy would look like and what this could mean for her going forward. She was perhaps the last remaining straw, last remaining impediment in Trump's, march towards the White House.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that she's not going to secure the delegates needed to win the GOP nomination this summer. So it's really up to her, her own resolve, whether she wants to stay in this campaign to be a thorn in Trump's side, so to speak, and whether her big money donors will continue to support her. But there are some developments on that front. Haley's campaign has confirmed that she has nothing on her calendar for Wednesday, and she is not giving any speech tonight. Her campaign has also not scheduled any TV ads in states with upcoming primaries. Now, she said her main goal in tonight's primaries was to remain competitive, but she has been vague about exactly what that means. Siobhan?
Chris, a possible rematch between Trump and Biden almost seems certain at the moment. Talk to us about what to expect going forward from here towards November.
Well, I mean, you heard it in Trump's speech from Mar-a-Lago just now. I mean, he was hammering on immigration on the southern border. Very familiar theme. So the Republicans want to make this race about immigration and the economy, which we saw in exit polling in North Carolina and here in Virginia that those were the top two issues, and then followed by abortion and foreign policy. So Democrats want to make this race about abortion rights, whereas Republicans want to hammer home the fact that there is migrants flowing in on the southern border. So, you're already seeing the general election battle lines being drawn, and we'll see on Thursday night when President Biden gives his State of the Union. I mean, that's not really a political speech per se, but we'll see what he talks about as this campaign general election is shaping up to be a rematch between Biden and Trump.
It's a late evening for you, Chris. We'll let you go for now. Of course, you're going to be tracking all those developments, and we will be in touch for more on ground. Of course, this is Super Tuesday, bringing in all the results. That was Chris Casqueo, our Voice of America correspondent, joining us from Virginia. Thanks so much, Chris. Chris also spoke to various supporters of the major candidates prior to the exit polls. Take a look.
I voted for Nikki Haley. I'm a registered Democrat.
So that's interesting. Can you tell us what
because I
behind it?
Want to do everything I can so that Trump is not president.
I voted for Donald Trump. He's basically the strongest candidate on the Republican side, and the last term he was in as the president, he produced results in terms of both foreign policy and economy.
The main contenders here are Biden and Trump, and when I'm looking at, the history of what both of those candidates have done, mostly for minority groups. I would support Trump in that, being a queer woman. I think Trump has said some very detrimental things to our community, and I have to go with the other option.